Hey guys, welcome back to another new video. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about my laser treatment and whether it is necessary to get or not. Now I'm talking about this from a stance from a biological male. If you are a biological woman, you probably will not be able to relate as much as I do. So I was thinking about talking a little bit about my journey, but also the changes and if it is actually worth it to pay to get your face lasered and what you should expect. Basically, I just want to put a little bit of disclaimer where this is just talking from my perspective of how I did laser treatment and how the people who did mine actually treated my face. So I do not speak for all people who do laser treatments, because there are some which take it very unprofessionally, but also ones which do it professionally. So I want to first show you guys the journey of how my face actually changed, and I'm actually going to do that throughout this video. And in the beginning of the actual transition, you could say, I was definitely having a hard time, accepting that my face had facial hair. And ever since I was young, I've never really liked facial hair, and I just have always stuck with that. And one reason why I've never done that is because of the fact that I just feel like it makes me more manly. And even when I was less gay or trans or whatever you guys want to call it, I even thought that even then I did not feel like I resembled having a beard, because I've always seen myself as cute, adorable, and I never wanted to put on that manly role. So for someone to tell me that I have to keep my facial hair, I felt like that was completely against my character. Alltså, oh my god.
Det blir lite kanske rödnad, lite irritation.
Ja.
Det är helt normalt.
Now I can tell you that throughout when I did the first treatment, then I will say that it was very not as nerve-wracking as I think it was. I think what was the issue was I was nervous, but it was not until I came into the place I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna do this. I've always been waiting for this moment. And what happened was my parents didn't really allow me to do it because they didn't want to participate in it, even though I paid for it. So I had to wait until I became 18, because already when I was 17, I was planning on doing it. But I ended up doing it when I was 18, and I ended up paying for the whole thing. And you might be asking how I did that. And I had a job, a side job, and I worked my ass off. So it does work if you really want it. And I'll tell you later on in the video how much I actually paid in total. So throughout when I had my first treatments, I definitely noticed instantly when I was done with the treatment that my skin was very smooth, like more smooth than I've ever imagined. And while there were a few places where it wasn't even, I felt like the majority of it basically felt really good. And I will say that when I did have my first treatment, it hurt a freak ton. Basically, having laser to your face is like putting a matchstick on your face. Like, basically, that's what it is. And I definitely thought that me doing this would, make myself happy. And honestly, it did. And I did end up having friends who wanted to go with me and also hang out and, see how the procedure was. And a lot of them were supportive. But I will say that through some, I actually did feel a bit of stress because of the fact that I felt stressed already, and they're stressing me by being upset and, feeling pain because they saw me in pain. So they also felt sad for me. Well, not sad, but scared. So I got even more scared. So eventually, actually, I had to ask them not to come because I felt like it felt better when I went alone, even though in the beginning I really wanted to go with them.
Så andra sidan. Så jag har en annan maskin också. Duktigt. Ta bara här ett par stycken. Duktigt. Tyvärr, du vet, det där är tjockt. Känns mer.
So I ended up actually having epilepsia, which basically means that you're having this, it's a laser, which is not like a fire gun. It's more like it's actually laser, where it's like zzz, zzz, instead of like instead of it feeling like fire, it feels like it's zapping you. So it's more like electricity, you could say. And that one did a lot because it really made my face basically burnt. So all of the hairs fell out, and it really helped. But it did hurt more because they had to do it and then wait and then do it and then wait. The other one, the normal laser they use, you could just do, and you know, then it will be done much quicker. But I really did like IPL, and I got it for free because I realized that if you guys saw the picture, then I actually had a lot of thick hair, and that's the reason why I needed it, because my thick hair needed to be combated with even high pressure laser, which I ended up getting 3 for free in the end because they thought that it was necessary. And the last one actually was more because, yeah, because they were trying to be nice, because I ended up having to wait. So that's why, basically. Typ där, alltså hörnan av min skinn. Lite här nere kanske. Där nere. Kunde ha blivit lite bättre. Och sen tror jag allmänt så var det bra. Throughout the time I really did, you know, criticize myself what was good and what was bad. If I'm gonna be completely honest, then it did become better. At certain times I felt like it did nothing. Some lasers really did nothing. Sometimes I even felt it did more bad than good, because of the fact that they lasered it, and then I felt like there was still hair. Like they just lasered it and, you know, you burned a little bit of my skin, but that's it. Like the hair is still there, the root is still there. I felt like they just burnt the outside. But I will say IPL always did the job, and I do recommend using IPL, at least for me. That's what worked best. For some, it works, the normal one works better. And it really just, the skin just became better, to be honest. And, you know, I felt more smooth, and now I'm wearing a little bit of makeup, just a little bit of concealer and some powder. But besides that, you know, right now, it's really smooth, and I'm really satisfied with the end result. I will say that at certain points, it's not like 110% smooth, but you guys have to understand that laser is never permanent. You can never remove the root of a, basically, hair. The only thing you can do is, you know, make it so that it grows slower or thin basically the hairs, so that you have either thinner hairs growing out or you have hairs which take longer to come up, and that's basically what's been happening with me. And as of right now, I actually don't have any more appointments because I've already done all of them, which I have to do, and over the summer they're not allowed to do any more. So you guys might be wondering now, how much does it actually cost? How often do you have to do it? Is it really, you know, beneficial or not? For me, I ended up paying per treatment $370, which is 3,500 Swedish crowns. In total, I paid $2,250, which is 21,000 Swedish crowns. And then you have to count that I did also get 3 extra lasers for free. So if we're gonna talk about how much each laser, including the free lasers, were, so put them together, that would be a total per treatment was 2,300 crowns. You're most likely gonna have to put down that money. Well, I did not pay it all at once. I paid it every 4 weeks because I got a treatment every 4 to 6 weeks. And I had to pay the same price all the time, so 3,500 crowns. From a standpoint for me, who works an extra job where I make roughly 7,000 crowns a month, which is like $750, it's not a big deal. It basically is half of my money, and I still live at home, so for me, money isn't really an issue. So I'm happy that I did do it now while I still live at home, while I don't need to worry about the pricing and what it costs for me economically.
Duktigt.
Vänta, ta ett bättre grepp på min hand. Du kan trycka hårdare.
Så, tack. Uppåt. Tack. Jätteduktigt.
Du är jätteduktig. Oh shit, vad konstigt det luktar.
Strax klara vi den här sidan.
Förlåt, stackare, synd om dig. Nej, jag är inte så bra i alla fall. Fan, det ser ut som att du gjorde riktigt ont för det sista. Stanna.
But the end question is really, is it worth it? Is it really worth paying this much for the treatment, and is it actually good enough? As you can see from all the photos and videos I've shown you guys so far, that's how the process has been. And if I'm going to be completely honest, I would highly recommend it. But that's only if you have the money and you have the understanding that it's not going to be 110% smooth. If I'm going to say from a scale from 1 to 10 how smooth my hair is now, I would say in the beginning, I literally got a beard. In the morning, a thick beard. Then I shaved it. Then in the afternoon, beard. Before I go to sleep, beard. But now it's like, I don't need to shave every day. I can shave either every other day or every third day. And usually when I have to shave, it's just less than 10 seconds. It's just maybe a little bit here, a little bit here, and a little bit here, and then I'm done. How much would I recommend it? It did do a big deal. It was a big deal, and it did make a big difference. While it wasn't 110% smooth, I still think that even though I could have gotten maybe a bit more smoother, I definitely think that it did help me in the long run, where I feel like I don't have to wear makeup. Yes, I might have to shave sometimes, but it's very rarely, and even then I don't feel like it's a big deal. So would I recommend it? Absolutely. If you have the money, then do it. But it really depends on what your scenario is. I ended up doing it because I felt like it was too manly to not do it. So I really had to do it for my own sake and for my own happiness. And do I plan on doing this or doing other sides of my body in the future? Maybe. We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. But right now, I feel like my face was the most important part, because the face is what someone who's always going to see me for. I can always cover up my arms, my legs, my body, but my face is always going to be there. My face is always going to be visible, so you can't really cover up your face unless you have a scarf on you or something. But so that's why it was really, really important for me, and I'm really happy with the end result, because I was not expecting it to be this way. I was thinking, okay, they're going to do a half-assed job, they're going to do it, and then it's basically not going to be smooth. It's just going to be a little bit of less trimming, so maybe once a day instead. But now it's 2 to 3 days instead, even 4 sometimes. It really depends on how lazy I am. And make sure you choose the person who you're going to do it as very carefully, because you never know. Some people can be unprofessional, and the reason why I didn't do it myself is because I don't know how to do it. So I felt like it's only good to get it professionally done, because if you don't take the precautions to think about your own health, you can end up having sores, and your skin can go bad depending on how good or bad they are. So for example, I chose someone who is a doctor, who is a professional doctor. So don't just go to some random person and say, oh, I'll do it for $100 each. Pay a lot of money and they don't ruin your face, then you pay little money and then they end up ruining your face. So someone who does it professionally and somebody who does it as a doctor who knows what's best for the human body. Well, I will say that I was maybe not when I first came into this place, I was a bit shocked, because I didn't exactly know what was going to happen, and I had previously gone to another person and asked to do it, but they were not doctors, so I ended up not doing it because I had gotten advice. But this person who was a doctor ended up giving me less advice. So even if someone is a doctor, they can end up giving you less information than what they can be. But I definitely think that when it comes to what they're actually doing, obviously doctors are probably going to be more reliable than some random person. So that's really what I have to offer. And if you guys have any other questions about this and are wondering like something, I don't know, maybe like, oh, can you do it on girls? Of course you can, but most likely you're gonna have to pay less because you have less facial hair, for example. I know that some women do have facial hair, but you have to remember that this was my whole face. So this wasn't just like, oh, here, or this was like the whole face over here and down here. So I really do recommend it. That's really what I have to say. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below and I will be happy to respond to them. And with that being said, my name is Mamza, and I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.